Roger that. Roger that. Let's see here. Why do you go online with that? Do you need to go online with that? I thought that would be a direct shot from the headset to the receiver.
From the headset to the receiver. Just wireless. It's more convenient to be able to walk around a little bit inside the RV. We live in a motorhome, so I thought maybe I could make that work. But wireless is so much wireless is so much more convenient. I'll put it that way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you don't really mean online. You just mean that thing is on. It doesn't really have to connect to the internet, Roger.
It has to connect to the internet, Roger. Correct. Instead of having a mic plugged into the little connects in to the microphone plug, and it goes into the back of the base unit, and the base unit transmits the Bluetooth wireless signal to the headset anywhere within about 150 feet. So it's really quite convenient when it works, but the problem is that something is blowing it offline, and I can't, for the life of me, figure it out. So I've just taken that out of the circuit. You might remember last time we talked about it, you remarked that it sounded a little hot, and I might have the gain a little bit too high on it and the radio, so it kind of wrestled with that. But it's very sensitive to that, so I'm not sure what's causing it.
Roger, Roger. Does it pair up normal? A Bluetooth pair, does that work normal?
Bluetooth pair, does that work normal? Yeah, that part of the function works very well. It connects right up like it's supposed to, no problem there.
All right, could be you have a new buddy somewhere in the neighborhood that has a Bluetooth on the same frequency, and his is a little bit stronger.
His is a little bit stronger? Well, if there is, I don't know about it. I'm usually on the thing at 7 in the morning on 40 meters with the RV service net, 7191.
Roger, no, I mean on your Bluetooth frequency, on your Bluetooth pair frequency, Roger.
Bluetooth pair frequency, Roger. Oh, I see. Yeah, there are other Bluetooth devices in the RV here, telephones and so forth, and I think the printer as well. But they've been on there the whole time. I've never not had them, I'll put it that way.
Roger, have you noticed anybody new? Any new Bluetooth frequencies or IDs?
Frequencies or IDs? Well, that is a possibility. There's people in the RV park here that come and go frequently, so that's very possible. I wouldn't know how to go tell them not to use their Bluetooth device or how to isolate them, but yes, that is a possibility. I hadn't thought of that.
Roger. Although you would probably have a log-on problem, a pair problem, if you did have that situation going on. Although if they were to come on after you had logged in, that would, you would not see them. It would just maybe try to grab your frequency or cause interference. Roger?
Cause interference. Roger? Roger, Roger. You know what? I'll pay attention to that. I'll try it out next time, and we'll see what time and how long it is before it goes offline and what may have occurred to cause it. I appreciate that. I know you're coming up on the magical hour here, so I'll hush. I'll just be listening. K4ATW, back to you, Jim.
Roger there. Well, yeah, let me get together here. I've got a couple of things I've got to do yet. I'm about halfway, or 2/3 of the way in my checklist, Roger.
2/3 of the way in my checklist, Roger. Roger. Clear. K4ATW, clear with KC9VKV.
If you want to jump back in later on, after we get going on the show, maybe we can discuss it some more.
Okay, sounds good. I'll appreciate that. K4ATW.
KC9VKV.
KC9VKV.
Check, PASDR.
Check, PASDR.
This is KC9VKV, showtime 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Check, Boone, North Carolina.
Check, Boone, North Carolina.
Check, New York. Check, PA.
Check, PA.
Check, Georgia.
Check, Georgia. Check, Georgia.
Check, Virginia.
Check, Virginia.
And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today, we're currently featuring over 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics and current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our new number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our NoSWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy?
And apparently Charlie is not with us this afternoon. So we'll just move along and open it up. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Kilowatt, Foxtrot 3, Delta, Juliet.
Kilowatt Foxtrot 3, give me the whole thing one more time.
Kilowatt Foxtrot 3, give me the whole thing one more time. The whole call is King Fox 3 Delta Juliet KF3 disc jockey.
Roger, disc jockey. And what's the name there?
Disc Jockey. And what's the name there?
Name here is Ron, Romeo, Oscar, November. I'm 30 miles southeast of Erie, Pennsylvania. Over.
Roger that, Ron. And what radio are you running?
Roger that, Ron. And what radio are you running?
I'm running a rare ICOM IC729. There's no way to change audio settings, etc., with this 1992 piece of equipment, but thought I would check in and perhaps you'll load our Qso on the internet and I can listen to it later.
Yes, sir, Ron. Well, there's no need to do anything to it, bud. That's just a beautiful sounding radio. Audio contours just perfect. It's on frequency. I'm listening on the PASDR. You seem to be about 20 over. Everything looks like you need to get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, Roger.
You need to get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, Roger.
Yeah, I use Gorilla Tape for a lot of things, but that's not one of them. 73, I'll get out of the way so other people can speak with you and take advantage of the net. KF3DJ, listening out.
Roger there. Ron, I think you'll really enjoy your recording. And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. Noon tomorrow. 73, Ron. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. This is Whiskey 4 November Charlie, Quebec.
Whiskey 4 November Charlie, Quebec. Is that a Roger?
Whiskey 4 November Charlie, Quebec. Is that a Roger? USL. Yeah, you worked on my radio months ago, and I don't remember exactly which radio I was using. I think it was my TS-870, and I'm on a different radio now. I seem to get into the Lumpkin School District in Georgia pretty well. Machine seems to hear me pretty well. I don't know about Pennsylvania. Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, you're doing about 20 over on Milford, PA, Roger.
Doing about 20 over on Milford, PA, Roger. Yeah, I don't want to waste all your time. Maybe just general advice, like a couple of things I might do to improve things, because I spent a lot of your time last time. I think it was the TS-870. I'm running a 101 right now, the newer 101 ID, the low power one.
Roger, what's the name there?
Roger, what's the name there?
My name is Alan, Alpha, Lima, Alpha, November. I'm running the FTDX 101D to a AL80B, about 700 watts PEP to a dipole. This is my summer dipole, which is low. It gives me less noise. And I find that even though I don't have as strong a signal, transmitting the signal, the noise ends up being better in the summer. I go to an antenna closer to 50, 55 feet. When it stops raining, I'm going to put that up.
Frequency is in use.
Frequency is in use.
Roger, Alan. Well, gosh, we have the world's poorest tuner-upper or deliberate QRM. I'm not real sure, but the gentleman did have a problem. It sounded like he was trying to tune up, but then again, maybe it was just deliberate QRM. I never heard anybody have to tune up that much. Anyway, Alan, the radio that you're on now sounds really good. I just have a question. What's your location now?
What's your location now? Well, I'm in Black Mountain. Black Mountain. It's immediately east of
Asheville, North Carolina, in the mountains at about 2,500 feet.
Oh, yes, sir. I've worked a lot of 2-meter repeaters up in that area. But that specific one, are you in North Carolina, Roger? But that specific one, are you in North Carolina, Roger?
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina, right east of Asheville. I can see Mount Mitchell, 41 miles, almost due north.
Yes, sir, Alan. I just moved over to my local antenna, and I see it melting. You're about 30 over on my local antenna. And that Mount Mitchell is one of my all-time favorite repeater DX hits. I've been in that repeater about 9 times. It's a 400-mile trip for me, and I just enjoy that. That's one of the greatest repeaters in this part of the country, maybe overall. I think it's 6,000 something feet above sea level. I talked to the gentleman that actually put that station on the air, I think, before he passed. Roger?
Yeah, there's a couple nearby mountain has one that's about as tall. I think Mount Mitchell, the peak is like 7,700 feet, 7,600, and their peak is not quite that high. They also have a large parking area that's at about 5,000 feet. It's a great place. I don't have any HF mobile capability, but if I did, I'd like to join the folks that are there on summer weekends primarily, parked in that parking lot in their trucks or whatever vehicles, and running HF at 5,000 feet, and they do really well.
Oh, yes, sir. And it's amazing, Of course, it's not every day, so it's a real special event when conditions permit accessing that repeater. But there's a lot of great people up that way, and I really enjoy that. I was a habitual Yagi antenna builder, and I had at that time, I think, 10 or 12 Yagis around the house that I built, and many times I would bring them all to bear on the target and just rotate the inputs and listen to the white noise and pick the hottest one. Roger?
Yeah, I have almost no experience with Yagis. The only Yagi I've ever owned was on 6 meters, and that was back in 1964, 1965, near Cleveland, Ohio, outside real close to the lake. Other than that, it's just wires. I use resonant monoman dipoles, fed with either open wire line or coax. Don't like fan dipoles. I don't know why, but I have this belief that a fan doesn't work as well as 2 separate resonant dipoles fed with separate lines. I have no way of justifying that belief, but that's what I've always believed.
Roger. Well, I don't know. It just seems like a big pain to me, because there's a tendency when you're working on one that you wind up working on or experiencing more SWR on another. So if I can keep them apart, I will. And tuned dipole antennas, I think, are the greatest thing in the world. They seem to me to be very, very efficient, and that's what we're running here for the last 6 years. And our SWR is somewhere around 0.05. Roger?
Yeah, I don't worry about SWR that much as long as it's below 2 to 1, because I don't have a transistorized amp that's real touchy and doesn't start folding back on me. I never. This is the only amp that I own right now, and I run at about 750 watts, and that's just about it. It seems to be enough. there's one argument that says that for VHF and high frequency, being on the mountains is an advantage, but some people say it doesn't help at all at the lower frequencies, and that may be true because there are flatlanders at the base of the mountains here that do about the same as I do, and on 75 and 40. So I don't know the answers. The antennas have always been a mystery to me.
Yes, sir. Well, I think VHF and UHF is important for height, and then when you come on down there, I think 40 meters, 80 meters, not so much. Probably maybe not at all. I mean, maybe you want to be like 30 feet above local terrain, and the rest is, up to Mother Nature and skywave. That's what I'm talking to you with, and it doesn't have anything to do about ground wave, Roger.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that the elevation would make much difference on skywave, and that's what close-in stuff is. I typically will, it's real noisy on 75, of course, and especially also 40, but 75 and 160 in the summer. So I run a low antenna and for transmit and receive, and it reduces my transmitted signal. I'd be louder now if I was on a higher dipole, but there'd be more noise for me. And most of the time I figure that the signal to noise ratio is better in the summer if I run the dipole not much more than about 30 feet, and I'll run it up 50, 55 feet. I'm in the woods, heavy woods. The insulated wire actually wraps around branches, which is not a good thing. And when the leaves fall off the trees, they're mostly deciduous trees, the antenna appears to shorten up, and so the tuning changes, which is kind of what you'd expect. There's capacitive coupling, I guess, I'm told, and I think I get out better generally in the winter, especially on 160. Right now, I'm in the process of building another beverage antenna. It's going to end up being about 800 or 900 feet. But I'm 76 years old, and it's just an awful lot of work to clear that brush out again, and all the kudzu and garbage that has grown up. I have to walk through, and I try to hang that as high as I can reach, and then I'll have my high dipole at closer to 50 feet directly above it, and that works out pretty well on 160. W4NCQ.
Roger. Alan, well, I wouldn't do a thing with your radio on this frequency. I mean, you're like 25 over. I've been looking at your audio curve. It's very nice. You have a nice amount of bottom end, very well balanced to the top end. Frequency activity down to about I don't know, 125 cycles, somewhere down there. So I'm copying the mail using 7300. You just sound beautiful. So if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently celebrating 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Okay, I will check that out. By the way, I don't have one of those high-priced microphones. I was thinking of getting, like one of the Shears or one of the type that the radio broadcasters use that are, $600, $700, $800. I'm just using a Heil 781 now. I think it's $160 if I had bought it new. Of course, I got it used, and it seems to work okay. One thing that I like about it is I've borrowed some of those expensive mics, and I have one heck of a job rolling off the load. It's always so doggone boomy and hard to understand. because of all those lows you got to get rid of. This mic, it comes with a lot of them rolled off. So I'm using a parametric EQ, and I have the lows rolled off at 200 hertz, minus 10 dB.
Yeah, Roger, I'm seeing very flat curve down to, it looks like about 75 cycles. I have a spectrum analyzer on the set, and just to explain what it is, I have 3 white marks on that spectrum analyzer. First mark to the left is 100 cycles. First mark to the right is 1 kc. Then there's a blank space, which is 2 kc, and then another white mark is 4 kc. So just in a way of explaining what those marks are on my spectrum analyzer, and you're just wall to wall, really, Roger?
Well, that sounds good. Thank you. I'm glad. I got one question. When people say you sound nasally, you got nasal, and I've been criticized for that before, and I've got written of it, by reducing the frequencies in the, I think around 1,000, 1,100, somewhere between 800 and 1,100, and I think that's what got rid of them by notching those. Is that where your nasalness comes from?
Nasalness usually comes from the nose. And if you do have that problem, then you just simply move the microphone to a lower ebb in your speaking to it, rather than upper. So you're talking about trying to minimize, just like noise, where you would want a tight mic noise so you don't have noise like a blower or something. Well, you can work your microphone the same way. Move it more towards your mouth and less towards your nose. Come up at a down pitch, but even below your nose quite a bit, So you're maximizing your voice to the microphone as opposed to up in the resonant areas of your nose.
Yeah, I was thinking you could do the same thing maybe by notching certain frequencies, but I've just kind of played around with that and never come to any conclusions, and the proximity effect is not as bad as it is on other mics on the 781. If I move in, I'm talking about 1.5 inches away, and I have the mic gain back down. Now, if I can talk from 3 or 4 inches and crank up the mic gain so that the ALC still runs at about 50%, is where I always run my ALC at 50%, and that will give me more highs and less nasally sound. But they say the fidelity is not as good, so I tend to talk relatively close as I'm now and just back the mic gain down till the ALC peaks an average of 50%, and that's where I get the best reports. But I found that reports from other stations are so unreliable. I'm sorry, I babble here. I'm 76. I'm an old man, and I do tend to babble. But you just can't rely on other people, because you find out that they've been listening on a Collins at 2100, giving you audio reports, and you're talking about frequencies that are closer to 2500, and they say, well, you need more highs. And I tell them, well, you need to get a better crystal filter or whatever in your receiver that's wider. So I don't know where the truth lies. Anyway, let me get out of here, and let you help somebody else. And I'm going to look forward to hearing myself tomorrow on your recording. This is a W4NCQ in Black Mountain, where it's been drizzling all day long.
Roger, Alan. Gosh, your audio is just beautiful. I wouldn't change a thing, and I wouldn't care what anybody else said. so what? Everything's fine, and it's just again, gosh, today's been one of those days about gorilla tape and taping everything down. I wouldn't change a thing. You've got it going on, and it looks good. Your curve is beautiful, and your dynamic range is right where you want it. It's not too fat. It's just choice. So I would leave it like that. And I think you'll agree when you hear the sound. This 7300. Well, we had a Yaesu 990 for about 3 years, and we cut our teeth on that, and always ran that with a very low RF front end. And so when we got onto the 7300, we set it up just the same way. So this recording is probably about as close as you can get to perfection. Roger.
Yeah, I do look forward to that. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, but this, as far as external devices, the boxes you get for EQing, but with the parametric EQ on this 101, it's hard than heck. I don't understand how it works still. What was confusing for a long time is I thought the lower numbers meant that I got a lower bandwidth. It turns out the opposite is correct. And then if you want to, if I set it for like 200, and for the lower frequencies, the central frequency, if I have it on 1, it controls a large area. If I put it on 10, it's just a little above and a little below 200 hertz, and that's counterintuitive. You'd think it would be the opposite because they call it bandwidth, and I found out it's really not bandwidth they're talking about. That number is Q. So it took me over a year to learn that. Somebody told me, and I thought, gee, that makes a lot more sense. Anyway, I'm sorry to babble. W4NCQ.
Roger, Alan. Well, we usually suggest a transmit bandwidth TBW of 100 to 2900. You can go higher than that, but what happens if you go higher than 2900? You start into hoeing in somebody else's yard, and they don't like it, and they'll come look for you with pitchforks. So 100 to 2900 gives you just a slice of daylight to get along in life. Roger?
That's exactly what I'm running. Before I go to the parametric equalizer, I set the band pass to 100 to 2900, and then I have the low cuts rolled off very slowly, 6 dB an octave, at 150, and so they just gradually roll off. And then up at 3000, I have that high cut, like a brick wall. I have that rolled off at I believe it's 3. Anyway, it's much steeper. It's like a brick wall because I don't want to hear anything. Wait, I'm talking about receiver now. I'm confusing myself. That's the receiver. I don't want to hear anything above 3000. But I don't want the lows to be cut off too sharply, because I found that causes, I don't know if they're artifacts or what, but it sounds, the bass is unnatural. So I let that drop off, they call it slope, gradually. I don't know what I'm talking about really. I just kind of experiment, and this is where I've ended up. Anyway, I think there's somebody that wants to talk to you is breaking in there. So let me get it back to you. W4NCQ of Black Mountain.
Roger, Alan. Our receiver, the 7300, we've got all the filters off as best we can. We've got all the noise reduction off. Just trying to get it as flat and normal as possible to get a good idea of what's going on. If you get all this noise reduction going on and stuff like that, you can't really tell what's going on, because that does affect the received audio in your receiver. If you have the noise reduction on and all that stuff, it sounds good, but it's not real. And that's the thing that I need to hear is reality, and that helps me. This 7300 is probably about as real as you can get, so it really helps me make decisions about EQ curves and noise in somebody's microphone, breathing too much. Well, not too much, but ambient noise from breath noise and stuff like that. So anyway, Alan, I think you got it going on, buddy. I think you're overthinking the whole thing. Enjoy. I think you've attained pretty much perfection on that radio, Roger.
Yeah, thank you. That's half of the game, playing with that. There aren't many things you can play with anymore with, surface mount technology, all that stuff, microphones and EQ settings and antennas. That's about all that's left for mortal non-electrical engineers to mess with. W4NCQ.
Roger, Alan. Well, gosh, hope you get a chance to check out your recording. I think you'll love it. And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So 73, Alan, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday, Roger.
And I look forward to that recording. W4NCQ, I'm going to listen.
Roger. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon. Qso-Vlog net. That's not nut, that's net. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilowatt Queen 4, Bravo Radio Germany, break on the band.
Station calling, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilowatt Queen 4, Bravo Radio Germany, KC4BRQ, Roger.
One more time, sir. I've got, just one more time, slowly, phonetically.
Yeah, Roger. KQ4BRG, Bravo Radio Germany, Kilowatt Queen 4, Bravo Radio Germany, Roger.
Roger, yes, sir. What's the name there?
Yeah, the name is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf.
Roger, Doug, and what's your location, sir?
Yes, I'm in Virginia, Chesapeake, Virginia, Roger.
Roger, and what radio are you running?
Yeah, this is a Kenwood TS2000, Kenwood TS2000, Roger.
Alrighty, Doug. Well, why don't you give me about 10 seconds or 15, tell me about your antenna system, so I might look around for a better path for us, Roger?
Yeah, Roger, yeah.
For us, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, the antenna system I'm using on this Kenwood is a G5RV. It's roughly about 65 feet in the air in the horizontal position. And I have it up in the tree line here in Chesapeake, Virginia. Roger?
Yes, sir. I got you on my PA SDR. You're about 25 over. We have a setup procedure you might find interesting. We start with realizing that we want to be in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2900, Roger.
Transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2900, Roger.
Yes, QSL. I think we spoke once before. Yeah, I think I'm a little higher than that, probably around 200, I think, roughly. I think I have this radio set for there, Roger.
Yes, sir. If it, the transmit bandwidth is what I'm talking about, and usually that's one of the settings is 100 to 2900, which gives you just a slice of daylight before you're in somebody else's yard, Roger.
Before you're in somebody else's yard, Roger.
Roger, QSL. Yeah, currently I don't know which one I'm in right now. I'm not looking at my settings on my computer, but roughly I know what the setup you got. You can pinpoint where I'm sitting at there, Roger.
Yes, sir. Well, and then after we, usually secure a 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, that's in transmitter settings, incidentally. We move to our normal setup, which begins with grabbing that compressor, processor, and putting it on 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Anything more than that, and you start getting suck up between words, which you don't want to do. So normally, compressor processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger.
Processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger.
Roger, roger. And I think I have mine set for 26. My processor is set at 26 there, roger.
Yes, sir. That's out of 100.
Yes, sir. That's out of 100.
Yes, QSL, 26 out of 100 there, roger.
Yeah, close enough, close enough. And then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in a QSO, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is 2/3. 2/3 on the ALC meter as you adjust your mic gain as you say the word audio.
Adjust your mic gain as you say the word audio.
Roger, roger. Audio. Audio. Yeah, the ALC right now is at 50%. I'm seeing it rise up, and it's rising at a roughly 50% there, roger.
Roger. Want to be just a tad on the right side of mid-scale, Roger.
Just a tad on the right side of mid-scale, Roger.
Yeah, roger, roger. Okay, so you said just roughly to the right of that scale. So let's move that up. Stand by a second. Let's move that up shortly. See. Okay, audio. Audio. Okay, just slightly right of that there, roger.
Yes, sir, and that will give you 80 to 85% of average peak modulation, which is what we're looking for there. And then the next thing would be to EQ, and maybe just a little more top end, maybe a 2 clicks boost on your treble EQ. Roger, roger.
Clicks boost on your treble EQ. Roger, roger.
Yeah, QSL, okay. So coming up a little on the treble, on the EQ, audio. I've just moved up 2 clicks. How's that?
Yes, sir. Usually that won't make much difference on your ALC. It's those lower frequencies that tend to pile up very quickly on your ALC level, but just 2 clicks on treble usually doesn't affect that. Okay, so now maybe tell me in 10 or 15 seconds the best thing you like about your radio, so I might hear you, Roger.
Seconds, the best thing you like about your radio, so I might hear you, Roger.
Yeah, roger, roger. Actually, I love this Kenwood. I know a lot of people come back and say it has a great sound, especially on low end. I noticed the difference between this one and my Yaesu FT1000MP. In comparison, a lot of people, when I'm on this radio, do like this one better audio-wise than the Yaesu because they talk about the lower end on this radio there, roger.
Roger, roger. Now, are you coming in the back end on the high level? Is that a roger?
Roger, roger. Now, are you coming in the back end on the high level? Is that a roger?
Yes, QSL.
Yeah, I could detect a little reverb, very faint, but I'm listening to you on a 7300. You're doing about right now I'm using the PASDR. You're doing about 25 over there, and I'm monitoring on the audio system down to 50 cycles. Roger, roger.
On the audio system down to 50 cycles. Roger, roger.
Roger. Yeah, I just came down off the echo just a little bit. But yes, Roger. And a great radio you're on too. And I do appreciate you helping me assist in the audio sound quality of the radio coming to you. And you have great audio coming back this way. I have you 5910 over here in Chesapeake, Virginia. You sound great. I was sitting here as you was talking to Alan, and yes, Alan has a great sounding. I hope he's still on. I sat and listened to the whole conversation with Whiskey 4 November Charlie Quebec, and yes, his audio is very, very clean. I was sitting here listening to highs, mids, and lows coming this way on his station. Sounded really good. He sounded like a broadcast station there, Roger.
Yes, sir. That's definitely one of those situations where you get the gorilla tape out and taper down. You know, the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Roger. Okay, I'm not going to stay and take up your time, but I appreciate you sitting here with the adjustments. And again, you sound great. And thanks for picking me up this afternoon. This is Kilowatt, Queen 4, Bravo Radio Germany, Doug in Chesapeake, Virginia. There, Roger.
Roger, sir. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page, where we currently are featuring over 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And we'll have this one uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. It'll be a cut number 1. Roger?
By noon tomorrow, it'll be a cut number 1. Roger?
Yes, Roger, cut number 1. And let's see, what's the call sign again on the page?
It's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook.
KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook.
Roger, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, Roger.
Yeah, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
Yeah, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
Roger, I got it. And appreciate your time, and you sound great. And I appreciate what you do out here for the ham operators, giving them a chance to hear themselves back, because that's one thing we as operators don't do. We talk to a lot of people, and we get so many different readings back from different people out there on the air, but yours is definitely accurate, and I think I've been to your website several times, and I appreciate all you do. Again, thanks again. This is Kilowatt Queen 4, Bravo Radio Germany and Virginia. Thank you so much.
Roger, Doug 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. You get a chance to join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
N2 BUE, November 2, Bravo Uniform Echo.
Roger, Bravo Uniform Echo. Is the name Ron?
Bravo Uniform Echo. Is the name Ron?
Yes, KC9VKV, N2BUE. Hi, Jim. How you been? It's been a while since we've spoken, but I generally listen to your net on Friday, but I haven't checked in a while. Just thought I'd give you a call and hear how the radio's been sounding.
Oh, your radio's just sounding beautiful. Just beautiful. And always, though, we set it up there, and it's just been, every time I've talked to you, it just sounds great. I mean, sometimes conditions aren't that great, but when conditions are halfway decent, man, you really sound good. And I'm on that PASDR, and you're like to be about 15 over on it, Roger.
That PASDR, and you're like to be about 15 over on it, Roger.
Yeah, Jim, the conditions are...
How you were doing?
To the station, and you was coming in 10 over 9. And the Virginia station was coming in close to 40 over 9. And then I gave you a call, and you come back to me, and darn, you're down around an S7. So it's just unbelievable for the last few days. But anyway, I just thought I'd give a call, say howdy, and hey, keep up the good work, Jim. So I won't hold it too long, and I'll check in and listen to my report throughout the week. KC9VK3, KVK. I'm getting tongue-tied. N2BUE. 73, Jim.
Roger, Ron. Now, whereabouts up towards New York are you?
Roger, Ron. Now, whereabouts up towards New York are you?
What was that, Jim?
Yeah, what's your location, Ron? What's your location, Ron?
Oh, I'm in Gibbstown, New Jersey. Over.
I knew it was somewhere up there, New York, New Jersey, one of those. Sounding great. And which is that the 7300? Sounding great. And which is that the 7300?
Okay, Jim. Take care. You're about 90 miles southwest of New York City. N2 BUE clear. Good day.
Roger, Ron, before you go, is that the 7300 you're running today? Roger, Ron, before you go, is that the 7300 you're running today?
Oh, no, Jim. This is the FTDX10. The last time I spoke to you, I was on this radio, which was about last March, February or March. So I've been using the FTDX10. I've got the 7300 here still, and I go back between the two of them. But I've been using this 10 today, Jim. Over.
Roger, Ron. Well, both of them sound really great. That one sounds just beautiful, and I think you'll love your recording. You go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That'll take you right to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2800, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73, Ron, and we'll catch you later, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Kilo Charlie 9, November Romeo Oscar, Roger. Come back with the call sign slowly, phonetically, Roger. Roger. Come back with the call sign slowly, phonetically, Roger. Kilo Charlie 9, November Romeo Oscar. I believe last time you received the best on your 7800. Okay, just moved to my 7300 there. Come back, NRO, and let me listen to you.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Kilo Charlie 9. November Romeo Oscar. November Romeo Oscar.
Yes, sir. You're about 20 over. About 20 over. What's the name there?
Name is Greg. I talked to you a few weeks back with a little FX4 CR radio. Got me a new radio a couple days ago. I just wanted to see what the audio sounded like on it. It's a FTDX10. Did some initial adjustments for the ALC and processor, so just seeing what things sound like.
Roger, Greg. What's your location, sir?
Indianapolis. I believe you're southern Indiana, if I'm correct.
Yes, that's a Roger. Okay, Greg, why don't you give me about 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system. Let me listen to you.
Got a in-fed resonant antenna, 40, 20, 10 in the backyard. It's sloping up to a telephone pole about 30 feet in the air. Same setup I had last time with the little QRP rig I was talking to you on. And again, trying out a new radio and seeing what kind of audio settings I might need to tweak.
Yes, sir. Let me get my stuff together here. I've got the notes about that FTDX10. Let me get to them really quick here. That's a beautiful radio, incidentally. Let's see here. Okay, ham radio notes, and let me bring up that radio. First would be to, if you're not familiar, we would want to set that radio on the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger.
QSL. I've got it to 300 to 2700 now, going by a gentleman on YouTube setting, but I can change it. You say try 100 to 2900?
Yes, Roger, 100 to 2900. What happens is if you don't run it, what we want to do is maximize the capability of that transmitter. And if you run it in a lesser mode than 100 to 2900, you start rolling off the top. And the top is where most of the intelligibility is. So we want to keep as much of that as we can, but we want to leave a slice of daylight between your conversation and somebody else's. So 100 to 2900 takes care of that. Roger?
QSL changes to 100 to 2900, 100 to 2900, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Alrighty, so then we want to turn the, want to check and make sure our processor's on and at a 30. On and at a 30, Roger.
QSL, I've got the processor on and currently at 15 right now. You want me to bump it up?
Yes, sir. On that radio up to 30.
Okay, I bumped up the processor to 30, bumped it up to 30. QSL?
Yes, sir. Now move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in a QSO, adjust your mic level until your ALC meter runs at 7. Adjust your mic level to 7 as you say the word audio by your mic volume control.
Yeah, I believe mine, I got it on ALC now. It's peaking above 9, so let me adjust that.
Yeah, that one we want to be on 7.
Test 1, 2. Yeah, it's still a little high. Let me go down a little bit. Test 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a little bit lower. Is that any better?
Well, you know, that's why I teach you how to set your level. You don't have to ask me. You know, just you know how to set it. Just go audio and adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running 7. Roger.
QSL, audio, standby. Audio. Audio. Audio.
You can stretch that audio out, and if you do it once or twice, you just adjust that mic level. It's just easy audio till you hit 7. Roger.
Audio. Yeah, I'll copy on the adjustments now.
So that's pretty good. Are you running a Vox?
Negative.
Roger. I thought it sounded like it was spooking. Okay, do you know how to get to your equalizer?
Yeah, I'm still learning the menus, but I did do some tweaking in the equalizers. You got an EQ1, EQ2, and EQ3, I believe.
Yes, sir. So now that we have your processor on, we need to be in the P set of controls. Since you have your processor on. And if you come out of your processor, you'll negate any equalization that we do on the P set. Roger?
Here, so I'll tell you what I got here in a second. I'll read them back to you.
I've got a scorecard for you there. We want everything from 140 cycles to let's see, 250 we want flat. Roger, roger. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's start with the mid control. That's the mid range EQ2. The mid control set to off or flat. Roger.
Okay, so let me go and find that and set it flat.
Okay, just you got an off on that mid number 2 control.
Too new of a radio to know yet. I have to look in the menu real quick.
Can you tell where there's a plus and a minus on that control? I'm sorry, I lost you there for a minute. I think I've got you back now, Greg. Roger.
Yeah, I've got a pause and delay. I'm trying to learn the menus and figure out the mid-level EQ2 to off.
Said you did find off on EQ2?
QSL, turned it off.
Great, okay. And then let's go to EQ1, which is a base control. We want that set on 200 cycles, width of 4, level -6. Again, base control, 200 cycles, width of 4, level -6. And that's EQ1, which is your base control.
QSL, stand by. Okay, 200 -6.
Yeah, and you have a width control of 4, Roger?
Yeah, I'm looking here, stand by.
Okay, so right there where you have that -6 for your level control, you have a width control, and that would be on 4. And we want to be sure we're in our P set of controls. And also make sure that your mic setting, your mic EQ is set to on. Mic EQ set to on, Roger?
Yeah, mic EQ is set to on.
Because we could be playing all day and not make a difference if that mic switch for EQ is not on. So good, it's on. Roger, roger.
Yeah, there's basically 2 groups of setting. If you don't have it on, there's a regular EQ 1, 2, 3, version 1, 2, 3 to get the processor on. So I'm down to the processor version.
Okay, so we're on EQ1, the base control. That's set to 200 cycles, width of 4, level -6. Is that a Roger?
QSL level -6 and bandwidth at 4.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, let's go to EQ number 3, which is your treble control. We want that set to 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7. Roger?
Say again those, please.
EQ number 3, which is your treble control. We want it set to 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7. I repeat. The number 3 EQ control, your treble control, 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level 7, plus 7.
Okay, got it.
Alrighty, and so now why don't you give me about 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
Okay, got an in-bed half-wave antenna and got a closer.
It's just to be
NRO.
Roger. Gosh, Greg, you might be fading out there. I had a much better copy on you earlier on. Come back and let me hear you see where that situation is right now.
123, KC9, NRO.
Roger, Greg, I think you've about faded out. Maybe it'll come back here in the next minute or so. I'll just hold it for just a second, and we'll try it one more time because I would like to get a good recording. From what I can tell, your EQ is just perfect. We might need to touch up the ALC. Why don't you do that? Touch up your ALC. Go to the ALC with your mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, adjust your ALC meter, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter reads 7. Roger.
Just get on N4HNHU2.
Frequency is in use.
Audio. Okay, we got an average mic gain audio, a little bit peaking above 7.
Yes, sir. Now, what kind of mic are you using there?
It is the stock microphone that comes with the radio.
Yes, sir. Okay, Greg, what you want to do is pull that to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
QSL, talking across it now. Talking across it. Any better?
Yes, sir. Now actually touch the corner of your lips as you speak. Roger?
QSL, talking closer to the mic and got it at an angle. Close to the mic, got it at an angle. 3.
Yeah, I think that's good. Now tell me the best thing you like about your radio.
Well, I'm used to having a Aircraft radio, and with the Aircraft KX3, I got too many cables. Cables going to this, cables going to that, so kind of migrated to this. I use the radio camping a lot, and it is a lot bigger. Going to have to figure out the counter space for it. QSL?
Yes, sir. And also, that radio has got a AMC. Do you see AMC setting? It should be 65. A lot of them come stock 50, but you want to move that AMC to 65. Roger?
Got the AMC to 65. AMC is at 65.
Roger. I think you better get the Gorilla Tape and taper down, bud. I think we got her.
Okay, final recording. You think these are good settings? Talking at an angle, talking at an angle, talking straight on, talking straight on, talking at an angle, QSL?
Yes, sir. I think talking across it, pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it is always advisable on a hand mic, because you avoid creating plosives that you would if you worked it directly in front of you. Roger?
Say again on the issue you'd have. Say again.
Usually if you work a hand mic directly in front of you, you'll wind up with mouth noises and all kinds of stuff. But if you pull it to the corner of your lips, actually touch the corner of your lips as you speak, you minimize all those disturbances. Roger?
QSL, that makes sense.
So I think we got it there, bud. Sounding good this way, Roger.
QSL, I do notice on the ALC it was a lot lower going on the side. I don't know if I need to tweak that up a little bit or not, but I can play with it and see what kind of signal reports I get.
Well, why don't you go ahead and do that? Put it to the corner of your lips and do that audio and set that ALC, set your mic level to the ALC runs 7, Roger.
Audio. Okay, I think that might be the adjustments. Any other suggestions?
I think you got it. That's about the best I can do. I think it sounds great, Roger.
QSL, I'll log on sometime tomorrow afternoon on YouTube and check it out. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir, Greg. Let me say 73 up that way, sir. And we will have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Papa Charlie Papa, gosh, let me find the best way there. Why don't you tell me a little bit of audio there and I can see. It's probably PA. Let me just go to PA and see what I got. Come on back, Papa Charlie Papa.
Let me just go to PA and see what I got. Come on back, Papa Charlie Papa.
Okay, Jim, very good. Yeah, probably Milford, PA is going to be about your best bet, I would think. It usually is. So how are you doing this afternoon? V3, KC9VKV, V3 PCP.
Roger, PCP. I am doing beautiful today. It must be something in the water. I mean, there are a lot of folks around that do have water problems. I'm really sorry. Got some. Well, we had a Berkey. For a long time, we had a Berkey, and well, shoot, I don't know. That my daddy said, if you can't say something good about something, don't say nothing at all. But I now have a bifurcated water system. I have a Berkey containment area, and I have a zero water filter that I'm using, and they are nice enough to give me a meter to check the water. And I'm starting with a 280. Something local water contaminants, and by the end of the thing it's zero. It's just amazing, Roger.
By the end of the thing it's zero. It's just amazing, Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, that sounds interesting, and some sort of filtration system, I assume. Anyway, I got myself a new amplifier, so just wanted to test it out and see how it's sounding down your way. It's an Ameritron AL811. About 600 watt PEP output, so it should help you hear me okay, QSO.
Roger. Now you're giving Milford, PA about 6 over their noise level. About a 6 over their noise level. Let me look around. Give me about 10 seconds on something, your antenna system, and let me make sure I got the hottest signal, Roger.
Let me make sure I got the hottest signal, Roger.
Okay, Roger. A lot of solar activity over the last 24 hours or so it's kind of taken a lot of the propagation down to less than ideal, so that's probably part of what you're experiencing today. KC9VKV, VE3 PCP.
Roger. Now you're 10 dB above the noise level at Milford, so he's sounding good. There seems to be a little bottom end. You could use just a little more bottom end, but it's really sounding good. I wouldn't worry about it. You'll be able to listen to it and figure out what you want. I'm trying to. I record probably as transparent as possible. Roger, you know that.
As transparent as possible, Roger. You know that.
Yeah, Roger, for sure. Yeah, I don't know whether I can do a whole lot more at the bottom end. There's only so much adjustment on the TS-870, and I think I've gone through it all before. So anyway, using the USB headset, and I've got the microphone down below my chin, so I'm not breathing right into it. So hopefully I'm not getting any breath noise or anything like that. I'm running the compressor at about 25, I think, out of 100. I think it goes up to, it goes up to 8, so 25 out of 8, probably about 30% QSO.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that sounds really good. And again, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So let me say 73 up that way. Just sounding good, Roger.
Let me say 73 up that way. Just sounding good, Roger.
Yep, Roger. We're going to be doing a special operation on December the 12th. I'll send you an email all about it. Maybe you get on the air and look us up. 73, Jim. Have a good afternoon. KC9VKV, VE3 PCP.
Roger. 73 up Northland. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and join us next Friday if you can. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We run from 3:30 till 5 on Friday afternoons, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
I just heard a W. Station calling. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Whiskey 9, Alpha, Victor, Whiskey. Whiskey 9, Alpha, Victor, Whiskey. W9, AVW.
Alpha, Victor, Whiskey. Roger. What's the name there?
My name is John, and I'm located just east of Fort Wayne, Indiana, in a town called New Haven, just east of Fort Wayne.
Roger, John. And what radio are you running today?
Jim, I'm using an ICOM 7300 here.
Roger that. Okay, John, why don't you tell me about your antenna system for 10 or 15 seconds? Let me look around and see if I can find the best copy, Roger.
Okay, very good.
The best copy, Roger.
Okay, very good. And using an ICOM DH4 automatic tuner on that wire, and it works very well. I just press the tune button on the front of the radio here, and it matches the rig to the antenna, and we're all set to go. So we just got this setup going here a couple of days ago, and it seems to be working very well. KC9VKV, W9ABW.
Roger, John. I'm on my local antenna, so I guess that's about right, since you're also in the same state. I do have a Lexington, Kentucky SDR, which is somewhat better. Usually, a lot of times, it is hotter, but today it's offline for some reason. So there you go. I use it almost as well as I use Milford, PA. A lot of times, and my local antenna I do use quite a bit, but that 7300 sounds pretty good, Roger.
Okay, Jim, very good. Well, thank you very much. You've got a 10 over S9 signal up here at Fort Wayne today. 10 over S9, and you found your support sounds very good up here. I've listened to you before, and I've made some of the settings here that you recommend for the 7300. Some of the transmit audio settings. I've done that, and that's what we're doing here today. So I just wanted to know how it sounded. And get a report on the screen. Go ahead.
Roger, John. Boy, somebody's got a jammer going big time up north, I think. It seems to be up around my PA SDR, so I'm copying you locally. The main thing, if you got a copy on me, is you want to be in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger.
Okay, yes, we're at 100 to 2900 right now.
Roger, Roger. And you know how to set your ALC? Well, let's set the compression. We want that on a 3 out of 10, Roger.
Okay, yeah, we've got it set at 30 out of 100 here, Tim.
3 out of 10. You're on that 7300. It's a 3 out of 10, Roger.
Yes, you're right. I'm looking at it now. Compression is on, and it's set at 3, number 3.
Yes, sir. Now, set your ALC level. Look at your ALC meter with the mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in a QSO, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is 2/3. Roger.
Audio. Okay, there we go. I got the mic gain. It's only about 10% on the mic gain here. Seems rather low, but the ALC is about 2/3.
Yes, sir. Well, that's the thing. Not all mics are the same, and the critical thing, the more critical thing is how the mic level affects your ALC. So you want to adjust your mic level until your ALC is running at 2/3. 2/3 is kind of like, halfway between halfway and full. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, very good. I suppose too it depends on the loudness of the person's voice too. I tend to talk a normal talking voice here into the microphone. I speak right up, and so maybe that has something to do with it also.
Roger. Well, also what you can do. Let me set. I've got a level here. Audio. There you go. I've got a little field strength meter that I use to make sure everything's copacetic. I also have a couple of dumb lights on my PA that I usually blink as I speak. It indicates my PA is working properly. But I've also been using this little field strength meter, and it just works so beautifully as far as telling me that everything is copacetic. Why I'm talking about that, I don't know, but that 7300 is just a beautiful radio, and I think you really enjoy that radio, Roger.
Oh, yeah, I really have. I've had it for several years, but I've never used it very much. And I use it mainly on 6 meters. We have some 6-meter activity in the area here. I use it mainly on 6 meters. So it's kind of new here on HF. But anyway, yeah, I like the receiver in it, and the transmitter. I think for the money, it's a very nice radio. I really enjoy using it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And your audio really sounds good. From what I can hear, I always want a better signal. I want a 20 over and listen to those words just crystal clear. But Mother Nature sometimes gives me not quite what I want, so I have to deal with what I've got. But that sounds good. And I'll be posting this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days, actually by noon tomorrow. So if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2800, and again, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Okay, Jim, very good. Well, thank you very much for helping me here this afternoon. I appreciate the reports here, and thank you so much. I've listened to you for a number of years, and first time I've spoken with you, so thanks very much. Very pleasant to see you here this afternoon. Hope you have a good weekend. KC9VKV, W9KVW, 73.
Roger, Roger, John. And the first part of that last transmission was just very nice, so you can really hear your audio, and then you kind of slipped down a little bit into the noise somewhat, but the first part of that transmission was really good, sir. I think you'll enjoy your recording. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
Station calling, come back with your call sign.
Q4 MPT, that's Kilo, Quebec 4, Mike Papa Tango.
Mike Papa Tango, whereabouts are you, sir?
I am in Spring Hill, Tennessee, and it's John here.
Roger, Roger, John. And what radio are you running? Hello, John. What radio are you running, sir? Tennessee station, where did you go? This is KC9VKV.
Okay, there I'm back, KQ4 MPT, running an ICOM 718, and I said in Spring Hill, Tennessee.
Roger, John, 718, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger.
Okay, is that an older radio? Hello, John. Are you copying me okay?
Yeah, I've got you at 20 over. It must be
I think you just hit your VFO. We're on 7188.
I'm just running off a lowly half-end fed dipole.
Yes, sir. You sound a little hot. I'm not sure exactly where. Do you have an adjustable bandwidth on that radio that you know of?
No, I can get over and on the other end and maybe bring it down a little bit.
Well, you know, the preference would be, is that an older radio or a newer radio?
It's an older radio.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Your compressor processor should be on a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, Roger?
Roger, Roger.
All right, then move to your ALC. That's what I'm trying to get a handle on your audio because it sounded a little hot. Move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in the QSO, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. All righty, and now I want you to tell me in 10 or 15 seconds about your antenna system.
I'm using a Nelson's antenna. It's a half-wave end-fed dipole. It has an 80-meter resonator on the end, and it's about 63 feet, something of that nature.
Roger, Roger. Now, what is your actual mic level? What is your mic level?
About 4 on the meter.
Yes, sir. Now, do you have any outboard gear going into your mic input?
No, I do not. I do not have anything. It's stripped bare.
Okay, I would move about 2 inches further back off mic than where you are. It sounds to me like you just might be still hot into your microphone, and we've adjusted the ALC, so maybe it's like we need to pull back off the level just a little bit of the front end of that mic preamp. Roger?
Roger, Roger. emphasis on a little bit farther away from the microphone.
Ah, yeah. That took care of the distortion. Now, I want you to go back and reset your ALC level, though. Go back to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand as you say the word audio, and adjust the mic level until your ALC is running 2/3.
Audio. There we go.
All right, and why don't you tell me about your antenna system?
I've got a Nelson antenna. It's a half-wave end-fed dipole, about 60-some feet with a resonator on the end for 80 meters, give it a little more length. Doing pretty good, I think.
Okay, kind of faded out there. It did have about 15 over on you, and then it went down to about a 3. So, gosh, tell me the best thing you like about your radio.
Well, because I'm a brand new ham, it's just the fact that it's very simplistic and very easy to use. I'm sure I'll want something that has more information somewhere down the road, but at this point, basic is good, just to get my feet wet and understand the process.
All right, so what I want you to do, John, is I want you to leave your ALC meter out for the next couple of weeks. You got to have something to do as you're QSOing. So I want you to leave your ALC meter out as you transmit, and the sweet spot is 2/3 on the ALC meter, and I want you to try to keep it at 2/3 as best you can as you speak. And the longer you observe that ALC meter, you will develop a relationship with it, and you'll be able to put it right on that sweet spot all the time. Roger?
Roger. Complete copy. I appreciate the assistance and information. That's extremely helpful.
Roger. And I think you'll like your recording. Everything else sounds okay. So go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That'll take you to our Qso-Vlog page. We have 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This will be cut number 1, and I will have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger. 73s to you. I really appreciate the coming back. Again, KQ4MPT.
Roger, sir. 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net, and if you've participated and would like to hear your audio, we have been recording from 3:30 till 5. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So, with that said, I see by the clock on the wall there's a dead fly. Ooh. So we got to get out of here and, say 73 all, and we'll catch you later, and be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV is clear.
Enjoyed it, Jim. Thanks a bunch. K4HEW.
Roger, HEW. 73, sir. Sounded good.
AG4 Echo Delta Mobile.
I hear that Mobile back in there. Where are you, sir?
Alpha Golf 4 Echo Delta Mobile. The name here is Ed, and I'm in Southwest Virginia. And on the end of the coal field with Virginia and Tennessee line, over.
Roger. Is it Ted, Ed, or what? Repeat phonetically, please, sir.
All right, the call is Alpha Golf 4 Echo Delta on mobile, and the name is Ed. Echo Delta is my name, over.
I got it, Ed. I'll just kind of scribble a little bit bigger. And give me that call sign one more time phonetically.
Alpha Golf 4 Echo Delta. Alpha Golf 4 Echo Delta, over.
Yes, sir. Echo Delta. Got a good copy on you. Probably about, it looks to be about 10 over on my local receiver. We're located around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger?
out here in the coal fields of Southwest Virginia. Got a hand stick on the side of my truck, run 100 watts into a 706 Mark II G-Mobile, over.
Roger, Roger, Ed. Sounds good, bud.
You're hitting me about 20 plus up here on the mountain.
Roger, Roger. Doing the best I can. You have a great day, Roger.
Roger that, yeah. Well, if I can sound as good as you and as loud and got a signal like you've got up here, I'd say I'm doing real good.
Yes, sir. Well, that mobile's getting out for sure.
Thank you. You have a great weekend, and hope to work you again on another band of this one. 73, 4 Echo Delta Mobile clear.
Roger, Roger, Ed 73. This is KC9VKV, clear.
This is KC9VKV, clear.